Let's talk about the Alabama wide receiver room. And let's start out like this. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your excitement about the wide receivers that are in this room coming back? Scale of 1 to 10. Mine's a 10. It's easy for me. I mean, look, I've covered a lot of football. I've watched a lot of football, played the game. I've been able to be around, this great game for, decades. And I love the wide receiver position. I grew up a huge fan of Jerry Rice because of work ethic. I love people who work. I love mentality. I love talent. I love work. And one of the things that was most inspiring was it happened just recently when watching this Fox docuseries talking about Ryan Williams and kind of the work that he put in behind the scenes, running for over 8,000 yards at a practice, being highlighted by somebody like Jamarcus Shepard, who seems to be able to coach hard. And sometimes the lights, the camera, the action, you see kind of like Hollywood. And you're like, oh, well, this guy is just, he does it on the field. No. Like, he's doing it off the field. Right? And I'm excited about that. I like that mentality. I like the balance to be able to be focused in on what you have to do and to be able to balance kind of the, that Hollywood imagery that you have. That's a hard balance to do for somebody who's, 18 now. So credit to him and credit to his parents and credit to the coaching around him, because he has enough talent to be the most dynamic player in college football. I get it. There's another wide receiver at Ohio State that's the same age as him that had a better year this last year because he had a better quarterback. And, I think head-to-head, he probably has, a little bit more physical intangibles that Ryan Williams has. But then on the flip side, Ryan Williams, I think, has more playmaking ability than him. I really do. I just think that Ryan Williams didn't get the opportunities that Smith had. Whatever. So with him coming back, it really catapults the overall unit to another level. Get him the football as many times as possible and being as creative as possible. If you can get the football to Ryan Williams, I don't know. Is it 20 receptions a game? I think that was a little much against Tennessee. You got to be able to spread the football around. And I think Ryan Grubb will be able to come in and schematically figure out ways to get him the football, whether he's in the slot, outside, red zone, whatever it is, get him the football. And if there's some games where he has to return punts, then let him do that, because he's a shoestring away from returning a punt every single time he catches the football. Right? And he's tough, too. I definitely want to highlight this. How many times did you see Ryan Williams get hit last year? I saw him get hit probably like 5 times. Hard. Like, really hard. Like, I'm watching the game on the TV, and I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, yo, he got hit. He got hit against South Carolina. Hard. He got hit against Tennessee. Was it Tennessee? There was a couple other times where he got smashed and he popped right back up. West Coastin is listening from Bangkok. That's what's up, man. 10-10 on the Rydeouts. That's what's up, man. Out in Bangkok, man. That's amazing. Lynn Shanifield, what's up, man? Lynn Shanifield asks, Kyle, I ask you, did you think Ryan Williams is the best name on the list? Do I think, out of these guys right here, do I think he's the best wide receiver coming back? If that's your question, Lynn, then yeah, I do. And it's easy for me to say that. And that's no disrespect to the other guys on the list, because I'm going to talk about each of the guys and what I'm excited about with each of these guys, like what they bring to the table. But like Wayne's World and, I think Antoine is asking this, and this is why I was kind of asking, maybe if we were to bring back anybody for these wide receivers, I was thinking maybe Tua, because he seemed to be able to work the middle of the field better than anybody that I've ever seen at quarterback for Alabama in the 9 seasons that I covered the team. Antoine says this, bro, how many quick slants did our wide receivers catch last year? The pass should be completed maybe 50 times. And that's why I'm thinking, man, you get the ball to Ryan Williams, Rico Scott, Cole Adams, Jalen Hell. I haven't really seen Jalen Hell kind of open it up yet. Maybe like a Latsier Brooks, even a Germie Bernard, right? These guys have that after-catch mobility, especially Ryan Williams. Like, Ryan Williams should be catching things across the middle of the field as many times as possible, or anything kind of under that 15-yard window, because of his after-the-catch playmaking ability. I get it. You have to take your home run shots with him just because of his speed and his separation, but I think the majority of his catches should be under that 15-yard window, and if it is that, Alabama's offense is going to be almost impossible to stop. That guy's that good. Just get him the ball under 15 yards. All right, let's talk about the wide receiver all the way to the left, and that's Isaiah Horton. So Isaiah Horton came to Alabama from Miami. I was talking to somebody, I know a lot of people that cover all sorts of different teams. I've been in this industry for a long time, 20 years. I've made a lot of great contacts. And when I was talking to somebody who covers the Miami Hurricanes, I told him, I was like, Isaiah Horton's about to come over here. They're trying to figure out, NIL and stuff like this. And he's like, are you serious? He was shocked because he felt that he felt that Horton was going to be like their star receiver this year from Miami. Like their star. And with the quarterback that Miami had this past season, this guy, how many balls did he catch? Like over 40, 50? And he's a bigger type wide receiver, and I think he fits in perfectly to this wide receiver because you look at the room, so you probably have Derek Meadows being the tallest, and then I think Isaiah Horton. And if you heard any of the quotes or read any of the quotes, I think most of the like AL.coms and 24/7s, they interviewed guys from Miami down at this Reese's Senior Bowl, and they were like Isaiah Horton is a problem, okay? Huge addition. This was a great addition to this team. Germie Bernard. He can be overshadowed because of how big of the name Ryan Williams is. I wasn't sure if Germie Bernard would come back. He seemed like a tweener for me. Who do you think Germie Bernard is comparable to? Is John Mechie a comparison? Is that off base? I mean, like, John Mechie didn't seem to have, like, a burner-type speed, but he seemed to be able to sit in zones. He'd be able to, like, he had good hands. He was reliable. He was one of the guys here for sure, 100%. His comeback story is incredible in the NFL. Ardarius Stewart, that is a really good comparison, Wade's World. I'm asking for comparisons for Germie Bernard inside the comment box. I like that one. Him coming back, he was sure-handed. He had a lot of receptions, and Jamarcus Shepard was quick to point out him too in that Fox docuseries. Very reliable wide receiver. So those three wide receivers right there that I've just spoken about, that's your first team. And now I don't know if there's going to be 4 or 5 wide receiver sets. I'm sure there's going to be different things that we see this year. Who are going to be those next, number 4, number 5 wide receivers on this team? Well, let's start talking about them. Let's talk about Jaylen Hill. If Jaylen Hill, if this guy's healthy, he's going to be one of the most dynamic wide receivers that this team has. And that says a lot because I just talked about 3 that should be very difficult to stop. But Jaylen Hill has a combination of good size. He has good speed. He probably would have fought for starting time last year if he was healthy. Now, one of the storylines that we're watching as we go into spring football is how healthy is he? Is he 100% from the jump? I don't know. He didn't look 100% when they were practicing with the Citrus Bowl, but it was good to see him running. This guy suffered a very traumatic injury to his leg last spring. So his comeback story is amazing. I would imagine that Jeff Allen has a plan to get him, 100% by the season, of course. But maybe he fits into that top 5 wide receiver unit for this group. And then let's talk about Rico Scott. Rico Scott didn't get a lot of production, but I felt I saw something. I don't know. When you just see something, like there's a couple things that happen in the game. You could just see it, and you're like, yep, that guy's got it. I felt like Rico Scott has it. I know he caught the touchdown pass against Mercer. Lynn Shaneyfield, you personally, man, what do you think about Rico Scott? I know you're like dialed into Alabama football as anybody else. Antoine, what do you think, man? Max? Daniel Adams? Booga's saying, yeah, the comparison to John Mechie. I kind of think that with Germie Bernard in terms of like their playing style. Reliable, they catch the ball. Not over like the burners, but there's somebody who's going to haul in. Like if you throw the ball 50 times with them, they're going to catch it. I didn't really see Germie Bernard have too many drops. Wade's, yeah, you talk about juice in this room? Pff, man, juiced up. Rico Scott, I feel, could be that fifth wide receiver within this group to, and my question is, Marcus, and I'm talking about Rico Scott right now. Do you think that Rico Scott will be like, kind of make that cut into this elite group this year with wide receivers here at Alabama? I don't know. I think I did. I saw something special from him. Kendrick Insane, thank you for having my back on that, man. I felt the same, man. I felt that Rico Scott, like I saw something special. Lynn saying you didn't think he got enough playing time, yeah. I mean, the guy barely got on the field, but when he did, I felt there was something special there. All right, next one is interesting. Let's talk about Jaylen Mbakwe. This might be like, I have a couple like main questions for spring ball. And how Coach Kalen DeBoer utilizes Jaylen Mbakwe's overall ability is like, I am so intrigued about this. So let me ask you inside the comment box. Do you think that Jaylen Mbakwe will really play both ways, offense, defense, three ways, offense, defense, special teams for Alabama football? If you think he'll play offense, defense, and special teams, type Y inside the comment box. If you don't, type no or type N. I think so. And, you know, when push come to shove, I want to point this out. USC came right after Courtney Morgan. What did Alabama do? Alabama got down to business and they figured out how to keep him. If they want to keep you, they'll keep you. Jaylen Mbakwe, out of all these transfers that left, even like a guy as talented as like Justin Okoronkwo, it's hard to see those guys go, right? But Alabama wasn't letting Jaylen Mbakwe get away. I don't know what happened. I mean, the easy route is just being like, yeah, he got paid. We don't know that for sure. Like, we don't know any of the stuff like behind the scenes. Clearly, they see really big things with Jaylen Mbakwe. Getting a lot of feedback inside the comment box saying that you guys think that he will play all over the place. Could he be, you know, Alabama's Travis Hunter? Offense, defense. How many catches does he have? 20 catches? I'm going to put the over-under for Jaylen Mbakwe for catches right now at, let's say, over-under 24 catches for Jaylen Mbakwe this year. Over-under 24 catches for Jaylen Mbakwe. I'm going to go under. Over-under 24 catches. I'm going to write that down. Over-under 24 for Bach. Over or under? Bentley Boy, what's up, man? Jason say use him like Javier Arenas. West Coast Insane under. I'm going to say under too. Under. Okay. Going under 24 catches. Now we're setting these out really early. We might have to adjust these as we get closer to game time. Baller man, what's up, man? Okay, everyone's taking under. And I bring that up because, you know, how are they going to utilize him? And let me ask you this now about Jaylen Mbakwe. Do you think, based on his skill set, being that he came to Alabama as a DB, he can play safety, he can play corner, do you think that he'll play Husky? Husky is that third extra corner that they have out on the field. Wade's World says Cole Adams or Mbakwe. Man, I guess if I had to choose right now, I'd probably say Cole Adams. And I just haven't seen a lot of Jaylen Mbakwe. I would imagine a lot of people probably agree with me. Maybe some don't. But if you're like asking me straight up, I'd probably say Cole Adams. I like Cole Adams' game. Let's talk about him. So Cole Adams, he'll be coming in here his redshirt sophomore season. This guy had dealt with some injuries this past year. But he's sure-handed. You get him, he's a smaller type wide receiver that you need as a slot position wide receiver. Those crossing routes, he's good. He was also returning punts for the Crimson Tide. I think Coach Kalen DeBoer and this coaching staff has a lot of, they've had a lot of positive things to say about him in this short time. He's pretty solid, man. And I think he's kind of underrated too. He doesn't have the biggest name. He's pretty good. Yeah, like it would hurt to see him lining up with somebody else. Herman's ready for A-Day. Bentley Boy saying Jaylen Mbakwe in with 10 catches. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think Cole Adams, I'm glad you guys know about him. Most of you guys do in the comment box. We talk about all these players all the time. But see, look, Jason, I'm going to read what you just said out on the show, and I agree with you. And let me ask you this. And we saw a lot of Slade Bolden here. Is Slade Bolden who's a better wide receiver, Slade or Cole Adams? I don't know if we've seen enough Cole, but I don't know. I might pick Cole. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. Slade or Cole? Maybe we haven't seen enough Cole Adams. I want to do that to him. I like Slade. I see him sometimes doing some stuff, kind of post college football. I like him. I think Cole might have better hands too. Alex Wilder saying Slade. Slade was dope. See, Slade. And the thing is, Slade was like low-key a fan favorite too. Cam TV, what's up, man? Yeah, I don't know if Isaiah Horton has like a breakout season, but I think Isaiah Horton will have a very solid season. Because he's already, people know who he is, but I think, let me ask you like this. Do I think he'll be utilized this year correctly? 100%. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Slade inside the comment box. Slade's a baller. All right, before I get to that graphic, let's talk about Bubba Hampton. One time I put together this list of like always doing different things. One time I put on this like guys who I could see transferring. People get mad at those type of videos, but it's like shit. With all these guys that you have here, we know it's going to happen. And if I'm looking at the board right here, how are all these guys going to play at the same time? I don't know. Bubba Hampton, the first thing that Coach Saban said about him was he's got dog in him and he plays both sides of the ball. Man, I love me some Bubba Hampton. I would love to talk about him just because his name is Bubba. I just don't know how they're going to utilize him. And I don't know, like, straight up, who's better? Cole, Bubba, Latier Brooks. Will those guys even play the same position, like the slot position? I don't know. But let's keep watching on Bubba. Is there any feedback on Bubba Hampton? You guys hearing anything? I like him as a player. I do. I've seen him out there, change his number to 21. I seen him catching some passes in practice and stuff like that. He's good. Very good. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to play here, and that's not an issue. Bentley Boy, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I don't know, Antoine. I don't know where to put Ryan Williams. I don't know if I'm going to put him in the slot, right? I'm going to talk about this next graphic right here in just a second. I don't know. All right, we got two more wide receivers to talk about. Latier Brooks and Derek Meadows. These are each your wide receivers that came in with that class of 2025. Completely different wide receivers, right? Latier Brooks, he's a slot type wide receiver. I wouldn't say he's undersized. He's going to be a problem. This guy caught for over, almost 30 touchdowns this past year. Made SportsCenter a couple times with kind of, some of the grabs that he had. Derek Meadows, 6'5", 6'6". Got a lot of shake to him as well. He's out of Bishop Gorman. Latier Brooks out of New Jersey. Couldn't even be further from each other, right? Let's talk about Latier Brooks. I remember, I think it was one of the Tuscaloosa sports reporters had an interview with Courtney Morgan. And Courtney Morgan was talking about the fact that Latier Brooks, like, he's ultra dangerous with the football in his hands. I also heard from a source that Derek Meadows, like, while he's lanky, he's like, what, 6'6"? I don't know. He might be 6'6". You know, I'm curious, too, if that tight end that Alabama brought in, Marshall Pritchett, if he plays wide receiver. I don't know. I doubt it. But he's like 6'6", too. Anyways, Derek Meadows, even though he's tall and lanky, he's got like some shake to him. People say he could like make you miss. And some of the grabs that he had in high school, man, he's just a matchup problem. You try guarding somebody who's 6'6" when you're what, 6 foot, 6'1"? If you're 6'1" and you're guarding somebody who's 6'6", look, that's a mismatch. There's not a lot of tall 6'4", 6'6" corners out there. I don't think there's one 6'6" corner that exists in the world. Can you imagine a corner 6'6"? Right? Who's the tallest corner out there? I mean, probably what? Mustard's our tallest corner. Was Mustard like 6'4"? Cam TV says, laugh out loud, Kyle Ryan Williams is hilarious. He came into the Auburn, Alabama basketball game with some wrapped over his face like he was trying to. He's got it, man. That guy has the personality. He's such like a lovable person. He's made for this. Handles it very well. Oh, I love to see it, man. Dude's got the biggest smile. Yeah, Antoine's saying Mustard. He's the tallest corner. All right, so when we look to this graph right here, right? You have this is a 4 wide receiver set, and you have a running back in the backfield. So let's just say quarterback 1, whoever you want to put at, and Jam Miller's our running back 1. How do you put these wide receivers out on the field? I put it like this, and this wasn't my. I just to like throw stuff out there. Do you even put Bernard on the inside and then Ryan Williams on the outside? Do you put Ryan Williams at the inside slot position? Do you put Cole Adams there? Do you put Rico Scott there? Do you put Isaiah Horton up at the top? Do you switch? I mean, there's so like that is what I think here. The thing to think about is we don't necessarily have to pencil guys in. Yeah, Alex Wilder is like mustard. Turn the TV off. I love that song, Mustard. But the thing that what I want you to get at is Ryan Grubb coming in and being able to utilize all these wide receivers that he has, right? Whether you put Derek Meadows on the outside and Isaiah Horton on the other side and Cole Adams and Jaylen Mbakwe or Ryan Williams or whoever. Invest B, what's up, man? Looks like we got a Vikings fan up in the house. Appreciate you being here. So who would be your, let me just ask you this. For those of you that are like knee deep in this stuff, how would you put your wide receivers out here? Who's your 4 wide receivers for this graphic? Kendo, what's up, man? He has hell over Horton. Yo, Jalen Hill's, he's good, man. Invest B backing up his comment about Latsier Brooks starting over Cole Adams, saying yes, he will if he's shiftier and faster. I don't know. He might be. Latsier Brooks is. He's got a lot of shake to him. So you put Samuel's putting Williams in the slot. I kind of put Ryan Williams in the slot as well. I've been messing around with Isaiah Horton on the outside, Germie Bernard on the outside, and then Ryan Williams at that slot position. Antoine has it. Horton and Hell on the outside. Ryan and Bernard in the inside. Ooh, that's dangerous. Dennis points out Grubb will be in heaven with these wide receivers. That's what I want you guys to get at. Is I think you can mix and match this all over the place. Could you imagine like Ryan Williams inside, Latsier Brooks inside, Jalen Hell outside, Isaiah Horton. Lynn Shannonfield has it. Brooks, Ryan Williams, Jalen Hell, Horton. Yeah. There's a lot of combos that you can go with and keep guys fresh, right? And while it's still on paper and while it's easy to get excited about these guys, I think clearly there's reason to be, and I don't think this is hype. I don't think we're just like hyping these guys up because 3 guys that are already coming back to this season have experience and played at a very high level and already made some outstanding plays. We've already seen it. So now we're just kind of layering on that, right? We had a lot of wide receivers exit out, unfortunately. Some, it might have been for the best, whatever. But I don't think this is necessarily hype. I think the big question mark is how do they utilize Jaylen Mbakwe within this wide receiver room? Is Latsier Brooks really ready to step up? Is Jalen Hell going to be healthy? And how many times and how creative can Ryan Grubb be to get Ryan Williams the football? I mean, what? Roman Dunze back in 2023 caught 92 passes. Does Ryan Williams need 92 receptions? I don't think so. But can you imagine if Ryan Williams caught 75 passes this year? Antoine's like, I don't care, man. Run the ball. So that's where we stand with the wide receivers. We've covered the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the wide receivers, kind of gearing up for spring football. I still don't have like a target date for spring football. I would imagine it's, I don't know, early March. So when that comes out, I'll definitely post that. MM inside the comment box is saying, hell, Mbakwe better make plays. Man, that's why I think he's going to play on each side of the ball. You got to figure out how to get him on the field. Lynn Shannyfield points out, Kyle, I'm super excited about these wide receivers, but can they run the ball at Alabama this year? Oh, man, for sure. You got to be able to run the football. Can the offensive line protect? Can they open up holes for these running backs? And will the running backs be utilized? Well, that's your show today, fam. Lil Ye is saying March 3rd from Ryan Fowler. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good work. That's another guy who does an amazing job. He's super connected. I met him many times. Really good dude. He used to be a paramedic before he started hosting the radio show, I believe. He's a really good person. I really like him. Ryan Fowler. I'm sure you guys listen to his show. He's built himself an amazing platform. For sure. So March 3rd. I'll follow up with him. I might shoot him a text just to ask. I haven't. So yeah, and April 12th is the spring game. So April 12th is spring game. And April 15th is the transfer portal window. Oh, that's your show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for all the feedback inside the comment box. Sometimes I'll clip some of the parts of the video and upload them. So I appreciate you guys getting inside the comment box on those videos. These are also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify later on in the day. And if there's major news or things pop up, I definitely go live during the day. I might not be in a blazer. I might have a backwards hat sometimes. I might have a hoodie. But I was feeling kind of blazerish today, so whatever. But thank you very much for your guys' continued support. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a blessed rest of your day. Get inside the comment box. And stay tuned for more videos right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you very much once again. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam.